Hello and welcome, it's Ruth here, and it's a Christmas Stampathon challenge again this month. And it's to make at least 4 Christmas bags or boxes, or even more. So if you're thinking ahead of gifts that you may give at Christmas time, this is going to be a good one for you. So I've decided that I want to make a little mini box to contain... Oh, I had it on my desk a second ago. I measured it, and yeah, anyway, one of these. So this is like a remedy roll-on, and they make the cutest little gifts, and I would like to give some of these away at Christmas time. So I've measured it, and I need to make a box that's just under an inch wide, or square rather. So I've already written out some measurements for myself, and I'm going to be using the scoreboard, which I haven't used for a really long time, so I thought it would probably be a good thing just to revisit. Now, there's a couple of different tools that you can use for scoring. There is one that actually comes with it, and I'm just rummaging around to see if I can find the tool. You can always use a bone folder, that's perfectly acceptable. And the take your pick tool actually has not this end, but there's another end that you can put on that also has a score tool at the bottom of it. And as I said, there is this tool that comes with it too. Now, just be careful when you go to score your DSP not to push down too hard, because if you push down too hard, it will break the fibres and it will actually just make a tear in it. Now, I'm still trying to decide what sort of size lid I want, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and score the sides. So I'm going to score at 7/8, then 1 3/4, 2 5/8, and then 3 1/2. And then I'm actually going to cut at 4 inches. So I'm going to start that whole process again, because I'm going to be making a few of these. I can get 3 out of a sheet of 6 by 12. So I'm going to imagine that basically the cut, I'm going to cut there, so I'm then going to start again. So 7/8, then 4 7/8, 5 3/4, 6 7/8, and then 7 1/2, and then I'm going to cut at 8 and do that whole process again. So 8 and can't see what I'm doing because my camera's in the way. 8 7/8, then the 3/4, then 5/8, then 11 1/2, and then we get to the end of the paper. Now, before I go and cut it up, what I want to do is add a little bit of extra decoration, and perhaps I should have done this first. I was a bit eager to show you how to do the scoring. So I'm going to use, this is poinsettia petals, and what I would like to have is a really nice kind of like holly design at the base of my box. But before I do that, I want to add some additional sort of darker images. So I've got Misty Moonlight here. Now the paper already is a Misty Moonlight kind of colour, so I'm just adding colour on top. Actually, I'll tell you what would be helpful is if I score at 3/4, sorry, not 3/4, 7/8 all the way down. That will tell me where I need to aim the stamping. So I'm just going to add some extra bit of darker elements there at the base. And I thought gold on blue is such a classic combination, just always looks so beautiful, that I'd go with that to decorate. I think when you're making so many little items, you don't always want to have too much to do, because otherwise it can get a little bit monotonous. So from one sheet of 12 by 12, you should be able to get 6 of these little boxes. So I'm just going to use my embossing buddy just to make sure that's all nice and dry before I start putting the Versamark on. So I've got the holly leaf stamp here now, and I'm just going to add that sort of over the top of where I've just done the darker blue elements. So I did some second generation stamping, but I'm kind of ignoring that. That's going to be in the background of my design. Just going to add those. And I'm thinking that while I'm here, I may also add some pretty little ferns as well, a bit further up. Okay, if I work quickly, I should be all right. So there's this beautiful fern pattern. Now I'm filming this video in March, so this is the March challenge, and I'm very aware that this poinsettia set is about to retire. So if you're watching this before the end of the current catalogue, finishes on the 2nd of May, this set may still be available to purchase, but if not, if you can't get hold of it, so I'm just trying to figure out if I just stamped there or not. Anyway, I may have done so. Yeah, so concentrate when you do this bit, because it's not always easy to see where you've just stamped. Right. So I've got my gold embossing powder ready to go. So I'm going to sprinkle that on and pour that down. Oh, I did do 2 there, look. Oh well, that one's just going to have some extra love on it, isn't it? So I'm just going to pop this embossing powder away. Right, so here I have the piece, and I'm going to just apply some heat using my heat tool, and that's going to bring that beautiful powder to life. And there you have that lovely design. Actually, I quite like the 2 sitting there. Now I can see that there's some areas where I hadn't completely allowed the ink to dry, so it's stuck to extra areas, but I'm not too worried about that. It all adds to that Christmassy feel, doesn't it? Gorgeous. Right, just let that cool for a moment, and I'm going to grab my trimmer and cut them at the 4-inch mark. So 4 and 4. So as I said, I still haven't decided quite what I'm doing with the top of these, but I know that I'm happy with this. So I'm just going to fold these over, ready to cut the little bits out that I need to cut. I'm just going to score these. I guess I could punch just a big hole at the top and just put a ribbon through. That might be the simplest solution. So to put these together, you need to cut off that corner section at the bottom, because that's not needed. And then I tend to fold these over, and because it's just DSP, it's quite easy to cut folded over. So I'm just cutting that. Cut that off there. And then it should be super easy to construct these. So fold that over. You can use tear tape if you want to for this too. And then just fold that over like so. Oh, these are just the cutest little boxes. And then just fold that over and put a little bit of glue there. Hold that into place. And I should, if I just drop my roller in there and push down, that will just help it to, and there you have a really cute little box. Now let's see if this will squash down. Oh, that's so nice, just like that actually. I'm wondering then whether a cute little peg on the top with a tag to match might look nice, or even just some ribbon tied around there. So I've cut a piece of this really lovely denim ribbon, which seems to just match. It's very classy looking. I'm just going to tie that up on the end. Now I'm looking at this thinking, that's going to pop off if I'm not careful. So I'm wondering, just by folding that back a little bit so that it's got a bit of a fold in it, that will just help it stay in place. And if I bring this round to this side to tie my knot, and that will hold it into place. And there you have a cute little package for a Christmas present. So there we go, very quick and easy, very easy to create quite a few. So you could, if you wanted to create all 6 at the same time, you could just put your whole piece of 12 by 12 in your scoreboard and then score everything. So I will put the measurements in the description of where to score if you're doing a whole sheet, and there we go, that would hopefully make things a little bit easier for you. So thank you so much for joining me. Do go and click on the link in the description to join the Christmas Stampathon Facebook group, and I'd love to see what little boxes you guys create. And also go and check out what there's Ellen, Shirley and Esther also doing something. I'm eager to find out what they've done too, so I'm going to go and have a look. So thank you so much. Take care for now, and happy box and bag making. Bye.